I see some threats that need to be addressed. Let's see what else we got here. All right. Yeah. Ah, yes, there's always a threat. Hickok45 here with a Rock Island Armory. This one is the tactical model. As you can see, it's very empty, and it has some add-ons. It's not your regular GI model. It has, you know, your beaver tail. It has ambi thumb safeties, flat mainspring housing, the skeletonized trigger. It has a good trigger, you know, long trigger, good trigger. And you got sights that are kind of I don't think they're actually Novak, but they're Novak-like. And those are pretty nice. You can adjust those for windage and not so much elevation, I guess, but for windage. And it's just a pretty nice piece of equipment, you know, made by Arms Corps and in the Philippines. We've had lots of requests to do some more of these low-end 1911s, and we've done a few. And this one is one of the most popular, actually, the Rock Island. They've been around a good while, and not a mystery. There's no secret. You already have opinions about them, those who know, you know, much about them. One of your opinions is you don't like that big Rock Island Armory billboard on the side of the slide, do you? I think they have been receptive to the criticism of that, and they've moved it back here, and it's much smaller on I don't know if it's newer models or what. This is a new gun, but I think in the future they're changing that, and it might be that way on your gun. So it really has a lot of those things you want on a firearm. It has some things you might not want, and we'll talk about that. I'll load the magazine. I'll go ahead and talk about it. How's that? Get right at it. Well, what is it that I don't like about this gun? The sights need a little white outline or something. If I hang on to this thing very long, I'll have to paint that front sight. It's you know, I think most of us have gotten to the point where we like a little something on there. I know when I first started shooting 1911s and competing, I'll turn it over here, back in the 80s, as far as competing, you know, there was this feeling that, black sight's fine, just leave it that way. But I don't know, I always painted mine. I put some fingernail polish on it back in the old days, and same for the rear sight if it needs it. So that sight could use a little paint or some sort. And what else do I not like about it? I don't like the ambi safeties. I typically don't like ambidextrous thumb safeties. I wouldn't mind one on the off side for me, which would be on the right side because I'm right-handed, if it were really minimal, if it were just scaled way down. The problem with this one is it hits, and I've seen the criticism on the internet, people saying the same thing. Boy, it's so true for me. The first thing I notice when I pick it up, hits my knuckle here, and I could almost have trouble disengaging it because it's against my knuckle there. Of course, I have large hands. If you have small hands, maybe not, but I notice a lot of people criticizing that. So again, if I were going to keep it, well, first place I might, if it was possible, to just take this side off, or get another one, or get the Dremel out and take that thing way down on that side, and even on this side, doesn't need to be that big, okay? But their heart was in the right place. You know, they put an ambi safety on there. A lot of people like those, and it's probably not too big for some people. Too big for me, in my way. Oh. All right. Okay, that was tough. I've been working on that shot, that ricochet shot. Let's go over there and make a liar out of myself and try the red plate. I did notice I have to hold up on it about halfway. Okay, I got it that time. I told you I'd make a liar out of myself. I'll take a couple more at it. As you all know, that do any shooting at like long-range precision stuff, it's like shooting at the little chicken. Some days you're on, some days you're not, and then sometimes when you pick up the gun you're on, and the next time you're not. But It's a little bit low. There you go. I was shooting fast before. It's probably why I was hitting it. Let's load up again. The trigger on this thing is really nice. I don't know what the weight is on it, but it's it's about like I like them. If I was going to compete, that's about what I would want. So some of the things you get for your money with a gun like this, it's it's kind of impressive, I'll have to say. Now, again, a lot of people wouldn't buy a low-end 1911. You got a forged slide, but I think a cast frame, and a lot of people, companies do that, but you got mostly MIM parts, whereas if you buy a $1,000 1911, you have fewer of the MIM parts, the mold injected stuff and everything, and of course that's controversial as to whether or not those are actually as durable as forged and whatever milled parts and all that. And people argue about that endlessly on, of course, the internet. But there's a reason, of course, why a firearm is in this price range.